It's the kind of story you could see portrayed by Al Pacino and Robert De Niro, a real-life story of two guys who grew up and went very separate ways. But there was one thing linking them, a woman.
She was just strolling down the beach, and I looked at her and I said, "Hey, good looking. How you doing?"
Vinnie Davis is remembering 1980 and the words of a then macho 19-year-old. Words that would launch a 20-year odyssey of pain, obsession, and near self-destruction.
It was just sort of like a love at first sight.
Vinnie and Diane Pilati fell in love quickly that summer, but Diane had another boyfriend.
Oh, Diane was like say, my childhood sweetheart. And I was dating her, going out like we were an item. And then I got in a lot of trouble, and I went away.
Richie Sable is the kind of guy who laughs when he talks about the first time he went to jail. He and Diane and Vinnie all grew up in Yonkers, New York, a town where, as some put it, a young man grew up to become a cop, a mobster, or a working stiff at the local power plant. For Richie and his friends, the choice was obvious.
When you're growing up in the streets, like we do, and you see the guys with all the flash and the pizzazz, the nice cars and clothes and everything like that, and, you know, that's the easy way, and you want to be that way.
Richie and Vinnie had few things in common, although both were the sons of cops. Vinnie would also become a policeman, but Richie wanted to be a mobster, a wise guy. But when Diane wrote him in prison about Vinnie, he says he was the perfect gentleman.
She wrote me a letter saying that she found somebody. I called her up. She told me about it. I said, I wish you all the luck and happiness in the world. I mean, I have no animosity towards this girl.
Vinnie says it didn't quite happen that way. He says Richie threatened Diane, and here he quotes Diane describing her conversation with Richie.
He said he would cut off my fingers and mail them back to my mother. He would throw acid on my face to make me so ugly that no one would ever want me again.
Never happened. Untrue. Untrue.
Vinnie claims that Richie stalked him and Diane from that first summer they fell in love through their marriage in 1983, and even after Vinnie became a New York City transit cop in 1985. Richie denies it all, like that time shortly before the wedding. Richie had been released from jail, and Vinnie says Richie kidnapped Diane.
It was not true. I never kidnapped her. I never brought a shotgun to a house, never held her hostage for 2 hours. Never happened.
There are no official records of any of Vinnie's accusations. He and Diane never leveled charges against Richie because, says Vinnie, Richie was too dangerous to mess with, even though Vinnie was a cop. Richie, who's testified in court about his life of crime, says all of Vinnie's charges are ludicrous.
And my life's an open book, okay? I admitted to shooting somebody. I admitted to hitting people with a baseball bat, stabbing somebody. I admit to everything. Why wouldn't I admit to this? Why wouldn't I admit to this?
Vinnie says the threats, though intermittent, continued to haunt the young couple as they tried to get on with their lives. Vinnie not only became a cop, but a hero cop, awarded scores of certificates, ribbons, and medals throughout his career. But there was trouble in his marriage to Diane, and things got even worse when Richie cooked up a new scheme to get out of another jail term. He decided to become what the wise guys call a rat.
Once you're a rat, you're a rat, and it's a whole nother ballgame. So when you become a rat and decide to join the other team, you have to come clean with everything.
Coming clean meant turning against the mob. Richie went to work for the feds as a double agent, burrowing deep inside New Jersey's Lucchese crime family. Meanwhile, Vinnie's life was headed downhill. Diane had left him, and he was drinking heavily. And when he heard that Richie was free again, he sank deeper into booze and depression.
It was January 25th. One of Richie's cohorts came in and begins to taunt me. You said that Sable's gone away for 20 years, no one can keep him away, and he's going to kill you for what you did to him.
Drunk and angry, Vinnie hunted down one of Richie's mobster friends. It was the biggest mistake of his life.
I says, this guy ratted on somebody, and he's probably ratting on you. He's probably working for the feds. And thus the story begins.
Vinnie says he didn't know that Richie really was, in fact, working for the feds. But when prosecutors heard what Vinnie said, they blamed him for ruining an undercover operation and charged him with witness tampering, obstruction of justice, and conspiracy. And incredibly, with Richie free, living the life of a government-sanctioned gangster, Vinnie was thrown off the police force and sent to jail. He served 16 months in prison before a judge threw out his conviction. A second trial ended with a hung jury, and just earlier this month, a third jury found Vinnie not guilty of the remaining charges against him.
I'm really looking forward to saving up a few dollars and taking a vacation. I'm going to Disneyland.
He's celebrating his freedom now, but Vinnie Davis describes himself as a ruined man, and he blames Richie Sable for all of it.
I lost 16 months of my life because of this. I lost my job. I lost my pension. I lost my wife. Did Richie win? He won. He's ruthless. He's heartless. You think he cares that my life got destroyed by this? He's laughing at the government right now. He's laughing at me.
Richie is also out of jail now, and he says he's staying out of trouble. He'd like to work for the feds again, but so far, no offers. As for his feelings about Vinnie, he says, forget about it.
I would like this to pass and end. I mean, there's no reason for it. I mean, the kid got lucky. He should thank his lucky stars and get on with his life, and wish him all the luck and happiness in the world, you know what I mean?
Incredibly, Richie Sable and Vinnie Davis have never met face to face.